Welcome to The Game Is Over. This is a podcast where I'm documenting my journey of taking video games out of my life. I'm helping addicted gamers get to higher levels in life instead of in the games. I'm going to share my successes. I'm going to learn from my failures and kind of talk to you guys about those as I take myself to the next level of my life. Have video games taken over your life? Have you tried to quit, but somehow it's just really hard to quit playing? Maybe you can quit for a short period of time, maybe a week, maybe a month, maybe even 3 months. But you find yourself still stuck and drawn back to those games again. You may wonder why. Why is it so hard to quit? You might even think of yourselves as a failure. Why can't I quit? My friends don't have this problem. Other people don't have this problem. What is going on? In today's video, I'm going to share with you what exactly is working for me and some of the reasons why it is so hard to quit playing video games. First, I want to share with you that you're not alone. There's well over 2 billion people in this world. Back in 2021, there was an evaluation done, and it was found they were researching video game addiction, and it was found that gaming disorder of some way, shape, or form has a 3.05% prevalence worldwide, which means that around 60 million people most likely have a gaming disorder. So no, you're not alone, especially because I'm right there with you. At this point, as I'm recording this podcast, I'm only 88 days free from my last play of my video game. And I've tried for so many years. But I kept asking myself, why is it so hard? Why do I keep getting drawn to these games over and over again? And for me, I've kind of discovered a little bit of why, and I'm going to tell you guys about it. So remember, we're not alone. There's other people out there. If you really want to get help, there is help available. The first reason why I think video games are so hard to quit is they're created to be addictive. I myself was addicted to gambling. I was addicted to video games. And I'm even addicted to food at sometimes. There's lots of things that we can be addicted to. The games are designed to have addictive elements to them. And the first addictive elements they're created to fulfill some of our most deepest human desires, some of our human needs. The need for escapism. They provide an escape where we can tune out this world and immerse ourselves into the fantasy worlds created by the video game designers. I myself fell into this trap, especially with games like World of Warcraft, where every day I kept having to relieve some stress, either from my family life or from my work life, where I'd come home, be tired, and how I wanted to spend the rest of my night was to escape into this fantasy world. Secondly, video games are created with a social outlet. A lot of games these days you play online, and there's multiple people playing the same games. They become a little bit of a social circle encompassed around certain games. You have Discord chats You have YouTube channels dedicated to some of these guilds, some of these communities based upon games. And even for your friends in the real world, it becomes one of the highest topics of conversation. Did you play Fortnite last night? How did you do? I'm not a Fortnite player, so don't get me wrong, I don't know how this goes. But that's for an example. Even though many of your friends are the friends that you meet online, and you play games within them, and you're developing these connections online. The third thing that these games do for us is to have some measure of constant growth. A human need is to keep growing, keep producing, not only in size and growing up as a teenager, all that, but mentally as well. A human need is to just have this sense of growing, and the games provide that. They keep adding on to our character. They keep getting attributes. Let's say, for example, there's many games that talk about their strength. They talk about their will. They talk about their charisma. They talk about their intelligence. They talk about their wisdom. All those things just steadily increase over time as you develop these characters within the game. There are many games that don't have characters with those attributes. Most of the games I played did. But there's still, maybe there's appearances. You get higher and higher gear. You get higher and higher, more and more, how do you say, character development in some way, shape, or form. The last thing, the fourth thing, I gotta hold up my fingers the proper way. The fourth thing is that they fulfill a sense of purpose. How many games do you know where there's countless goals incorporated into the games? You're talking about daily achievements, weekly achievements, monthly achievements even. Many games these days, once per month or once per cycle of the game, ultimately we're needing to achieve higher and higher status within the games, and that is brought to us every single day. There you go. There's 4 human needs fulfilled with one activity. No wonder it's hard to quit. So the games are developed this way, and even game companies even hire behavioral psychologists to help them design these games, knowing that all these attributes constitute, and I'm not going to say make us, but they propel us to play more games for a longer period of time, wanting us to spend more and more money. It's a business. That's what they do. Because if they don't make money, they fail. Ultimately, that's what they do. I don't condone that activity. I also don't blame them for it. Everybody's here to succeed. Now, I'm going to share what's helped me in each of those 4 cases. And for me, this is still a work in progress. I really don't have the ultimate answer. I know what is working for me, and I'm going to share that with you. Hopefully that will have an effect and it will help you. For the escape, that's sometimes, yes, I mentioned, yes, I would go, and all I wanted to do after a hard day at work where I was tired, after dinner, go play a video game, kind of veg out, have nobody bothering me, put in the headphones, nobody can hear me, I can't hear anybody, and I'm in my game. Leave me alone, I'm in my game. What have I done to help with that escape aspect of it? I've found healthier activities. For me, when I first tried to start quitting video games, I started to exercise more. I started to get out of the house. I needed to do what was good for me. I'd go for a walk. Now it's hard in that situation, but it only takes one action in the right direction. And first of all, it was awareness for me. What are these video games doing? The awareness was caused by, first of all, there's maybe something going on in my life that I really felt sad about. Maybe it was loss of connection with the people in the real world. Maybe it was loss of actually fulfilling other needs. And to be honest with you, the game started getting boring. And I don't know what it was. I mean, maybe because I was an adult at the time. Or they began to get frustrating. And when I was frustrated, I'd get angry. But I really became aware of that. And ultimately, I didn't really get aware of it until it led to that gambling addiction. And when I started to ask for help within that gambling, for that gambling addiction, I realized that the ultimate cause of all of this was the gaming itself. And that's why I'm here today, showing you what I've done to get to this next level for myself. So escapism is still there. What am I running from? Am I running from my emotions? Am I running from my feelings? So I go out and exercise now. Is that the same sort of thing? It might be. But it's a healthier activity for my body. I'm not sitting there in the games, distancing myself. And I'll be honest with you, exercise is hard. But all it takes is just one small action to do what you need to do. So again, a work in progress. Now, about the social aspect of video games, when I played games, I'll be perfectly honest with you, I was not there for a social activity. I did not go there to find friends. I went there to escape. I went there to block out the real world. So this was never an issue for me, but I'll tell you something that's worked in the meantime. A thing that's helped me stay away from games for a 6-month period back in 2022 and now for this almost 3 months period now. I found this a better social activity for myself. For me, this is Toastmasters. Once a week, I go out of the house and I join a Toastmasters meeting. And it's brought me so much social activity that you can't believe it. Yes, I used to be a gamer. Somebody that was kind of ashamed of what he did in the meantime, wouldn't ever even talk about it. It wasn't social for me. But once I got out there, put myself out there, recognizing that I needed to create some new friendships, I found Toastmasters. And it's given me so much. And that's for another video about what Toastmasters has done for me. I'd love to share that with you guys sometime. Now the third thing about the constant growth. And for me, this is different things that I'm learning that has helped me. For one, there's this YouTube channel. I would never be able to get out and talk in a forum like this, let's say 3-4 years ago, not even 2 years ago, not even 6 months ago. I'm doing it now. I'm putting this out there. And for me, that's important. This is my measure of constant growth. I'm learning something new. There's something every day. Yes, I'm investing in myself to help myself with this. And by that, I'm getting some help along the way here. But I would really love everybody to find something to hold on to. And it's not going to be just one thing. You can see I've developed Toastmasters. I've went to a YouTube and trying to develop myself that way. It's not one thing replacing video games. There's multiple things. And we'll get into that in another video. So there's the constant growth for you. Just keep learning, keep growing. Last thing is a sense of purpose. Yes, in video games, they create a sense of purpose for you with their daily achievements, daily goals, different things that you have to do. You have to log on every day to complete. And ultimately, you do find that that creates a sense of purpose in your life. But I want to challenge you. Find a sense of purpose outside of that. And this is not the first thing you need to do. But if you've gotten this far, if you've found that you're getting growth, for me it was Toastmasters. If you found that you stop that social connection within the video games themselves, maybe for you there is a higher sense of purpose. And it was through talking in my 12-step meetings. Yeah, I went to 12-step meetings for gamblers, and I still go to those meetings. But it was through talking and continuing to talk in a safe environment where I learned that I had this capability of being more than what I was. This capability of finding something deep inside me that was burning to get out for years. So you may be asking yourself, what is that for me? Well, keep exploring. Keep trying new things. For me, Toastmasters brought this out. My 12-step groups brought this out. And it was a steady progression. And I kept going up and up and up. Just raising the bar each and every time. Yeah, I'll admit, sometimes I'd slip a little. But then, what did that do? It taught me something. And I'm able to just keep progressing further and further up that road. So you might ask, what is that purpose for me? For me, it's a deep, deep why. And it took a lot of journaling to find this out. I discovered that I do have the capability of putting myself out there. I'm not afraid to share my story, as you can see here. I love to share my story. I love for people to hear my story and get something out of it for themselves. I don't hear it often, but when somebody approaches me after I've shared my story, whether it be in a GA room or here on a video, and I've done multiple things in the past, but some things have worked, some things haven't, but I've been on video before in public forums. But when someone has shared something with me, that this helped them, my heart soars. I can feel my heart raise an inch in my, maybe it grows a little bit bigger, however you want to say. And that's special. When I feel that, when I feel that I've made a difference in someone's life, it brings to me that sense of purpose for me. There's a few other things that I really want to get into about why it's so hard to quit video games. For instance, they're so convenient, so accessible. Hey, you know what? We all have a little mini game console in our pockets, don't we? It's so easy, so convenient. When I find myself reaching for that phone, maybe if I just want to watch a YouTube video, even nowadays, I really have to control that. I'm still not there yet. It's still a work in progress, as I say. But when I find myself doing that too often, the one thing that helps me is to go find somebody to connect with. Whether that be a friend or a coworker, a family member, a loved one, go and find somebody to have a conversation with. Put the phone in your pocket. Put the phone in another room so it can't grab you over and over again. And you know what? We're not always going to be around loved ones. We're not always going to be around people. So what can you do? Well, you have the phone in your hand. Why don't you use it as a phone? Here's a novel concept. Pick up the phone and call somebody. You must have somebody that loves you. Even if it's just a coworker. Even if it's just a friend. You don't even have to talk about what you're going through. You can just say, hey, how about that game? How about that Super Bowl? Whatever. Communication is key. The opposite of addiction is connection. I firmly believe that. The last thing I want to say that why games have become so hard is gaming has become our identity. And for me, that was it. That's all I did. I had no outside activities, other outside activities. I can say I kind of did have other outside activities, but they weren't enough. For me, I've always gone bowling. Bowling is a sport I love, and there's another podcast that you guys might enjoy. Sports and what sports are for me. Sports. Is bowling a sport? Yeah, that's the topic. And again, this is a work in progress. You know, we've developed our gaming over the years, and we've become good at it. We've become pros at it. What else is there to do? And then when we try to start something else, it becomes hard. Like this YouTube. Like, this is hard for me, but I don't care. I feel a sense of growth when I'm doing it. Maybe if it's sports that you once loved, you go back to hockey, you pick up soccer, join a badminton league, do something active. Once again, you have to create this identity shift. And I know in the moment it's hard, but all it takes is just one action. That's all you need to do. One action in the direction you want to go. Now you're aware of it. So when you find yourself picking up the phone for a game, or picking up or plugging in your console, or turning on your gaming laptop, do the opposite of what your voice is telling you to do. You've become aware of it. Turn off the laptop, put on your shoes, and go outside for a walk. Even if you go just out on the doorstep, you break that cycle. The other thing that's helped with shifting this identity is to recognize that I do have talents in other areas. For me, it's public speaking with Toastmasters. I can do this. Ultimately, I've figured out that I am more than a gamer. I'm a father. I'm a husband. I'm a beloved son. I'm a beloved son of God as well. I'm a kind soul, worthy of love, compassion, and kindness, just like each and every one of us. I am a healer, worthy of healing for myself. I am grateful for everything that I have and will ever have in my life. So in summary, it's hard to quit because games are designed to fulfill our basic human needs. escape, social outlet, constant growth, and a sense of purpose. Also because they're convenient and accessible to all, and because gaming has become our identity. Now I want to thank all of you who have stuck to the end of this video. And thank you to everyone who has subscribed. This is a new YouTube channel, and if I can help just one addicted gamer get to a new level in their life, all this work has been worth it. So once again, my name is Kelly, and I help addicted gamers get to the next level in their life instead of in the games. Thank you for watching. Be kind to yourself and everyone around you, because you never know what somebody else is going through. And for me, the game is over. See you in the next video.